Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us for today's webinar. Today we'll be discussing how you can take your document management to the cloud with using Autodesk Docs. My name is Jolene and I'll be your presenter for this webinar. Here are our points of discussion for this webinar. So we'll do a quick overview of the Autodesk Construction Cloud platform. Then we're going to look at the benefits of Autodesk Docs. After that, we'll go to the demonstration, and then we'll have time left for Q&A and discussion. The Autodesk Construction Cloud, also known as ACC, is a cloud-based construction management and collaboration solution. So the Autodesk Construction Cloud offerings are unified by utilizing Autodesk Docs as the common data environment. So with the centralized file management, you can navigate and have integrated workflows throughout a project. So the following offerings are available on the Autodesk Construction Cloud platform. You have your Autodesk Build, which is a construction project management solution. Then you have your Autodesk BIM Collaborate. The solution helps project teams align and execute on design intent by managing the entire design collaboration and coordination workflows. So this is also a design project lifecycle management solution. Then you have your Autodesk Takeoff. This is a quantification solution that enables for 2D and 3D takeoffs. Second to last, we got our Autodesk Docs. So this is available separately and also included with the above offerings. So the document management solution that organizes all your project files and folders throughout a project. And it is where we are going to direct the focus for this webinar. Then lastly, we got our Autodesk AutoSpecs. So AutoSpecs allows you to quickly create detailed and accurate draft submittal logs that can be published to Autodesk Docs and Autodesk Build for use by your project team. So all of these offerings also include your Insights and Administration module. So the Insights module delivers analytics from the data collected and analyzed, as well as the ability to export that data, encompasses Construction IQ Artificial Intelligence to identify and mitigate risks. Then you have your Administration module. This provides a centralized user and permission management, and it is accessible only by your account admins, which is the highest level of access, and they are able to manage all projects and members within the organization's account. The Autodesk Docs solution has multiple tools. So for the document management, you have your Files tool. This is where you will store all your files. Here you can create folders and subfolders to organize your documents, and you can also set member permissions for each folder and even individual files. So from the Files tool, you can also submit file reviews and create transmittals. Then for file approvals, you have your Reviews tool. So you can send files for review using the approval workflow. The approval workflow feature enables project administrators to facilitate, control, and automate the distribution of files to a project member. So members designated as reviewers can then review and comment on the files, and members designated as approvers can give final approval for the files to be used. You can also set up multiple step approvals where you have multiple approval members and multiple viewer members. So then you have your markups tool. So you can create any markups and link important information such as other sheets and files directly. You can create and edit markups on PDF files, image files, and 2D elements that is contained within a drawing or a Revit file. So all markup types will also persist through file versions. So for example, if you create markups on one version, they will also display on version 2. Then you have your issue trackings tool. So in Autodesk Build and Autodesk Docs, which allows you to track work across the construction lifecycle and create references to photos, files, RFIs, assets, and more. So once you configure the Issues tool, your team will be able to create issues quickly and easily from the field, and this makes it simple to identify problems, prevent any delays, and manage work on your project. So with this greater visibility and ability to track progress, you'll be able to deliver quality work on time. Then you have your transmittals tool. In Autodesk Docs, this allows you to see a list of all transmittals along with details like the status, the transmittal ID, title, who's the sender, who received it, or the recipients, the date of creation, and then the number of files that's included in the transmittal. And once a transmittal has been sent, all the recipients will receive an email notification where they are also able to download the transmittal file folder or all the files. Right, so then you have your reports tool. You can generate reports, for example, exporting an issues report while working on a project within Docs, and you can export RFI reports when you're working with Autodesk Build. So in addition, you can create reports using the Reports tool, which provides a central location for your superintendents, foremen, architects, and as well as other project members where they can view, create, schedule, and share these reports. So then you also have your 2D and 3D file support with Docs. And lastly, the desktop connector. So the desktop connector is an application that runs on your desktop and creates a virtual drive that serves as a bridge between the local file system and the data in the Autodesk cloud. So the desktop connector allows you to access and work with your cloud data from your local machine and only download the files you need, giving you a fast experience working with cloud data. Right, so let's get started with the demonstration. So I'll create a new project, a structural docs project. I'll set the account and add the project type. So these are the mandatory fields you need for creating your project. So after your project has been created, it will automatically take you to the project admin page, where you can add a role to yourself, the project admin. So then I'll just assign project manager and assign docs. So then we can go and open our docs space and go to files and create some folders. So there I'll create a structural folder for my structural team and then create some subfolders for this project. Yeah, so there I've got a couple of folders created, and I can also move around these folders to a different location to restructure my folders there. Okay, so I'll be able to move these two. So once you're happy with your folder structure, you can now go and set some permissions. Okay, so these permissions are adding members with viewing access to those folders. So for my head folder, I'm going to give viewing access to the project manager. So there I'll give full administration management, and all the subfolders will be automatically inherited with the same permissions. Then for my structurals folder, I will add the permission for my structural engineer, and all the subfolders underneath the structural folder, they will also be able to see. Right, and then you can go and set up the same folder permissions for all your other members. So there we can see the different types of permissions. So heading over to members, I now need to add members and assign them to those specific roles. So here I'm typing in my colleague's email, assigning the company, and then making him the structural detailer. So by selecting project member, he'll now have permissions that is specific to that role for the structural detailer. So I'll do that for my other members as well. So there we got a couple of members added. We've got the structural detailer, contractor, and the structural engineer. So now we can go in back to our files, and I have loaded some files to these folders. So there we got some DWG files and some PDF files. Okay, so we'll go to our assembly drawings and create a review. So here's our one-step review or approval that I'm creating. So once you've named your review, you can submit it, and there it will send an email to the person that needs to review it, and you can add some other members to this as well. So they will get an email notification. So here you can see the status of it, who initiated the review, and who needs to take next steps. You can also see the due date. So if we open that review, I can go and start the review and take action over who it's been assigned to. And then you can delegate tasks if you need. Otherwise, I can now go and edit this file and approve the status. So once you've made any edits, you need to submit the review. These members will be notified and you have closed the review. Okay, so now you won't be able to do any other changes to that review anymore, and there will be the list of reviews for that one. So let's create a couple of other ones. So here we got other reviews as well. So next steps, we can go and create some transmittals. So the folder you selected, all files and subfolders from that folder will automatically be included in that transmittal. Then you can add your recipients. So then I will add my contractor, and then you can change who will see this. So if you have multiple recipients, you can change that to be that the recipients will only see themselves, or they will see who else also received this transmittal. Okay, so then to select files, you can afterwards go and add additional files to your transmittal as well. Right, so then we can create that, and then it will send notifications to the recipients. So there we got two transmittals created for the structural engineer and the contractor. So if you select it there, you'll be able to download these transmittals from the Autodesk Docs platform or from the email notification that you receive. Right, so now we will go and create some markups. So I'll go and open this assembly drawing and create some markups on this welding symbol. And this will also be file version 1. Okay, and then I can go and create an issue. So I'll make this a clash. So this you can also do for any clashes that the contractors or that they find on site. They can go and submit these issues to the designers in the office to make changes. So there you can add watches as well as a start and due date for this, and then select your files that has the issue. So I'm just going to use that same folder assembly file and place the clash. So here would be a better positioning for that. And then create that issue. Right, so here's the details for the issue, and you have your activity log. So I'm going to change this to pending and then go back to my drawing. Here on the drawing you can now see also the issue pin that has been placed. So let's head into Advanced Steel and then we can go and edit that drawing. So I can move the welding symbols to where it's better visible and then save the drawing and head back to Docs. Right, so let's upload the new saved drawing with the edits. So when it's done uploading, and we can see it's called file version 2 now. So there we can see the changes, but you can also use the compare feature to compare the two different files with each other. So there we can see the difference between file 1 and file 2 and what has changed. Okay, and we can also see that the markups, okay, we'll first close, let's first close this issue and leave a comment. So you can also see that the markups are visible on both version 1 and version 2. So it also shows you which file is the current one. So here on the clashes side you can see a list of clashes and then select the clash and view its details and activity log. So let's head into the reports. I will create an issues detail of the issues we just created. You can set some filters on there, sort by the title of the issue. Here's some fields that you can add to it, and then here at the bottom will be the format of what the document will look like. Okay, so once we got that set, we'll run the report and it will create our report for us. And once the report's done, you can just select it and it will automatically start downloading that report. So it downloads it in a PDF format, and this is what it will look like. Okay, so there we are done with the demonstration part. So that will be it for the webinar. We will now go into the discussion and Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop that in the Q&A section. If you guys have any comments or thoughts you'd like to share, please drop that in the chat section. If there are no further questions, I would like to conclude this webinar. Here on screen you'll find our contact information. So if there's any additional information that you require or any questions that you might have, please feel free to contact us, and we are looking forward to hearing from you.